peace that surpasses all understanding. It's Sweatah weather. Sweatah weather. Sweatah weather. Holy hell, man. I woke up this morning and when I went to bed last night, right? When I went to bed last night, it was like Indian summer, you know. I had the windows open, and what? Hold on one second. Let me pause that. Hold on, guys. It's Sweatah weather. Sweatah weather. Um, when I went to bed last night, you know, it was, I don't know, it was like a warm 70 something degrees. And I don't know if you can hear, I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I have forced hot air heat. The heat's on this morning. Holy hell. Sweatah weather. I woke up at 3:33 a.m. straight up. 3:33, man. How did I know? I don't know what time it is most of the time. I've got all my clocks. Either I don't have clocks, or the clocks that, like the clock on my stove. Um, I wear glasses, so I can't even see. I can't even see the clock. It's so small, I can't even see. But this morning when I woke up, I picked up my phone and 3:33 a.m. Anyway, what does that mean? It was Sweatah weather. That's what it means. By the time it reached 3:33 a.m., I still had the window fan going from yesterday, and it was blowing out. But I had another window down at the other end of it, like a cross vent to pull some fresh air through the house, and it was quite, you know, it was warm when I went to bed. I actually broke a sweat, and I had to take my PJ top off. It was just a sweatshirt, a light sweatshirt, and when I fell asleep, and then I started getting chilly, and you know I put the sweatshirt back on. But this morning, man, 3:33 a.m., it was Sweatah weather. I think it said 40 degrees outside. That's what it said on my phone. However, when I looked outside at my neighbors' homes, there was frost. There was frost on the grass. And so what's today's date? September 14th? Whatever. I don't even fucking know. I know we're in September because it's Sweatah weather. I gotta show you this. Hey, if you guys ever wondered if they made Uggs for men, holy hell, it's fucking cold. Um, Man, Sweatah weather. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the heat to catch up. The house got down to, I think it was 50. 40 outside, 50 in the house. And again, I've mentioned recently, you know, that, you know, even 40 outside, that's one thing. 40 or 50 in the house, man, that's Sweatah weather. Um, anyway, waking up at that hour, my initial feeling, uh, you know, it was kind of nice. I slept on the couch last night. I go in between my bedroom and the couch in the living room, and the couch was a birthday present from my sister, and it was. I remember the first time when we bought it. You know, I was looking around. I'm looking around. I'm looking around the store, and what does this have to do with Sweatah weather? Everything, because I love that couch. It's a great couch for. It's a great napping couch. It's a recliner couch. Um, but it's also great for sleeping. But it was a birthday present. And I remember the first time I sat and I'm like, that's the one. That's the one I want. Kind of deep, kind of plush. You kind of sink into it a bit. And anyway, slept there. Woke up at 3:30. It was cold. And, you know, I had my sweater on, but I was barefoot and whatever. I had my nice big thick comforter. and I was all bundled up, got out of bed, made my coffee, and it was cold, and I could feel the coolness on the floor on my bare feet. And the house was very quiet. The heat wasn't running yet, so there was no noise in the house at all. The house was dead silent. But you know what? There is no such thing as dead silence. Um, you'll hear the refrigerator running. You'll hear traffic, um, the motorway, the highway, the motorway, whatever, the main route, the highway, um, is probably 2 football fields in toward the west from my house. So in the distance you can hear the traffic. There is no such thing as true silence. Boy, I feel like I'm all over the place, but boy, it's like that the chill got my kicked my metabolism into overdrive. Had to get rid of that light sweater and put on a real sweater. My man Uggs. Oh my goodness. Frost on the grass, frost on the roofs. Even my dog Jake, I let him out, and he didn't want to stay out very long. He's like, no, I'll go out and do my business. I'm coming right back in. But when he came back in, he had gotten tangled on his lead, so I had to untangle his paw from his lead. And there was actual, like, he had picked up the frost on his paws, on the fur on his paws. Like, wow. Well, still, I know it sounds strange too. It's still too early to pull out the weather. You know, why is this like? Why did I feel the need to push it? Sweater weather. I still have my air conditioning set up, but knowing what I know about living in Maine or New England for that matter, and anybody who's lived here knows that if you don't like the weather in New England, wait a minute because it's probably going to change. It's frost outside right now, but by the end of the day, I'm not kidding either. We have like these just bizarre like weather pattern extremes, like where this morning frost on the ground, frost on my car, frost on the roofs. I look across the neighborhood and I can see other homes, and you can see the exhaust vents for their heat. You can see smoke. But by the end of the day, it could be 90 degrees. And so it's a little too soon to pull out my air conditioner and put that away for the season. It's wow, dude. Wow. I guess this all leads back to like waking up this morning in the silence and the quiet and um, I don't know, silence and quiet, meditative thought and a lack of stimulation, a lack of distraction, not a lack, but an absence of distraction. And where does my thought process go? Where does my heart go when there is no stimulation? And it's just kind of nice, man. It's just kind of nice. You just put your head back and close your eyes and listen. You listen. I remember one of my mentors referred to what is the difference between prayer and meditation, and their definition of it. Prayer is a petition, asking for something for self or for other. Meditation is the practice of waiting and being quiet enough to hear the answer. That's how it was described to me. Meditation for me, though, is um, I find everything is all kind of all inclusive in meditation, prayer, meditation, projection, reception. It's all inclusive and it's nothing. It's like it's the best of everything. You know, in silence, I find um, a great deal of focus, direction, inspiration, um, self awareness. Big one on that one. When I'm quiet and I'm like, oh, I'm stuck with myself for 10 minutes. I remember in stillness and quiet, you know, I remember thinking the word boredom, and as a joke, I looked up the word boredom from the dictionary and I got the exact definition. I don't remember what it was. It was irrelevant. When you're bored, what do? You look up the word boredom in the dictionary. But as a jest, I I remember writing down boredom, and I looked at the dictionary and how to write it out. You know, BORDUM, whatever, and the little, you know, how would it be written out in the dictionary, the pronunciation, whatever, and the definition. And I came up with my own definition for boredom: the inability to sit with oneself. That's boredom. And how grateful I am to be able to wake up at 3:33 a.m., be frigidly cold, and not run around like, oh my god, I got to put clothes on, but like actually, and that leads to like meditation. You know, like, what am I experiencing right now? Oh, it's fucking cold, man. And just kind of, I closed my eyes and I was like, what does that feel like? What does the cold on my feet? I had my nose, because I was, you know, when I was still sleeping, my nose had started to get a little drippy. Um, you know, I was warm. I had a huge comforter. I was all bundled up, fetal position. It was wonderful on the couch. But what does this feel like? What does this cold feel like on my skin? What does it feel like as I inhale? What does the silence, you know, and all of everything that I was experiencing, you know, and the thing that popped, it's Sweatah Weatha. Oh my god. Oh, oh man. One of the things that definitely popped out this morning, though, in my meditation yesterday and in my meditation this morning, you know, that as I mentioned in a previous video, very recent, I think it was my last one. Um, you know, yeah, what man? Life is a fucking roller coaster. It's an amusement park, thrills and chills and spills and high highs and terrifying lows, and you know, it's an amusement park. I have this idea, this perception that, you know, when I was back on my home planet, somebody said, "Hey, we're going to Earth. You want to come with?" I got some passes. We're gonna go to Earth. It's an amusement park. It's an amusement park, and you know, the other day, you know, I was in the I was, you know, I was going back to, you know, what's the thing that we fear the most? You know, I guess at the end of the day, you know, you live in a state of love or a state of fear, and if you trace your fear back to basically you know, right back to the sort death, you know, death. You know, after you get past, you know, the fear of being loved and accepted and this and that and the other thing, and survival, and do I have a roof over my head and enough food to eat? Am I loved and am I accepted? You know, am I going to be remembered? Am I loved? Blah, da, 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 you know, and at the end of the day, you know, at least for me in that particular situation, you know, taking a hit in my in my income and like, oh, I'm going to have to sell my house and whatever, you know, I'm gonna, you know, this is not real. This is not real. I did a bit with, I did a bit of time exploring A Course in Miracles and what is real, what is real. And at the end of the day, what are you left with? This is not real. This phone is not real. All these things around me are not real. It's my perception of them. You know, you know. I don't know. Bit of a ramble. I've been up since 3:33 this morning. It was kind of interesting the way I hopped out of bed. I was like, "Ooh, it's chilly. It's Sweatah weather." Wow, wow. Anyway, where am I at today? You know what? You know what? I have a house. I don't have a house. I have a car. I don't have a car. I have a job. I don't have a job. I got this sweater though. It feels fucking good, man. It feels good. What is it all for? What is it all for today, right now, today, in this present moment, I have a roof over my head. I have coffee. I got cigarettes. I got a bit of green over around the corner there. I have food in my stomach. I have water, whatever, attitude of gratitude, It's so easy to slip into that fear mindset, instead of instead of the loving heart condition, Um, what do I have, not what has been taken away, from me, or hey, what do I really have? What is real and what isn't, my delusions, the programming, what's wrong with losing that shit? Today I can be a loving expression, Had a little moment with my dog earlier. He loves it too. He loves it. He doesn't like being outside so much. He likes playing in the snow and whatever, but he's one of the okay, that's enough, and he comes back in. But this morning he knew how cold it was, and shortly, I mean literally shortly, like he came in from outside, shook off the little frost from his feet, whatever, and he jumped up on the warm couch, and I had a throw blanket that and I've done this numerous times. He loves it. He loves it. He gets up on the couch and he does his little swirl dance and then plops down. This is where I'm gonna sleep. And I had a throw blanket, and I wrapped him up and I tucked it in all around him. Brought the blanket over his head. Dogs are pack animals, and they typically they would live in a cave, or what are they, a den, like a wolf den, all packed in together right up on each other. And I tucked him in and he was just like, this is great. It's the little things, man. It's the little things, you know. Uh, I don't know. I'm all over the place, but Grand Rising, my friends, Grand Rising, frost, September. Holy smokes. The heat finally shut off. I don't know. You can probably hear that. Just a ramble. Just a ramble. That is worth something to check out. I don't know. It's definitely Christian based. Um, Definitely Christian based, but A Course in Miracles, I would recommend that. It definitely shifted my perceptions about a great many things. Um, and Christianity, that word Christianity. What is the word Christ? You go to the root word Christ. What does the word Christ mean? Um, Anointed. That's it. It's funny because I looked up the word Christ and it immediately jumped right to Jesus. Like that's his name. That's what's on his birth certificate. Jesus H. Christ. You know, give him a social security number, stamp it, and Christ is a title, or Christ is a title. Um, Anointed, and I looked up the word anointed too. I can't remember the exact definition of it, but it's not what you think. Anointing, is a ceremony often associated with uh, Christianity and a few other religions. Anointing, but being anointed. Um, and as far as I'm concerned, in my experience, traversing Christianity and other religions, um, a little bit to ponder on. If I was to say, let's see, born of a virgin, December 25th, visited by three kings. What would be the initial jump to? Christmas, the birth date of Jesus. And through my experience exiting Catholicism and Jehovah's Witness, I did a fair amount of research. And in probably, I don't know, I think like 5-10 years ago, there was something that came out. And I remember, information that I came into. The initial pull or lead, like I just mentioned, those characters, December 25th, born of a virgin, three kings, etc., etc. We all jump to that belief or that idea of Jesus, or for instance, the Ten Commandments. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't covet. But if you do your own research, you will find that those characteristics that I just mentioned about December 25th, born of a virgin, visited by three kings, started his ministry at 30, we're all thinking Jesus, right? Or the character or the man commonly known as Jesus. If you do your homework and you look back, these are all ancient Egyptian, and not just Egyptian. That story, that those characteristics are pervasive throughout numerous religions, and that was a huge awakening for me coming to that, to come out of my own cognitive dissonance, realizing that this idea, or this perception about what Christianity is based on, come to find out it's based in all these other, but going right back to ancient Egyptian, I believe Horus and Isis. Interesting stuff. Is sun worship, the only begotten Son. Interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm not here to preach, but I would strongly recommend Course in Miracles. And it just told me my capture is going to end soon. So with that, it's Sweatah weather. I don't know what the day's going to bring. Again, it'll probably be 90 by the end of the day. I have to turn the AC on. But with that, I will wish you a peace that surpasses all understanding. A 3:33 a.m. ramble kind of thing. And big hugs, much love, and I'm out of here. Later.